what you think. All right, let's move on now to the next main topic today. And the next main topic today comes to us from Ben Landers, who writes, this anticipated Star Wars trailer coming this week had better be fire or it's going to wilt with all the hype for Avengers, Endgame, and Lion King. Do you think a poor or even for a first trailer will be bad for Lucasfilm, seeing as there is already a bit of heavy weight on the franchise at the moment? Cheers, dude. Rest that voice before you damage it personally. Yeah, I'll try to get around to that at some point here soon. So, for those of you who's not quite sure what Ben's talking about, Star Wars Celebration is kicking off. Star Wars Celebration is going on in Chicago. We know two things. Number one, we're going to be getting the first trailer for Star Wars Episode 9 this week at Star Wars Celebration. It's what they did at Star Wars Celebration Orlando when The Last Jedi was coming, and we know we're going to get the title. So we're going to get the title, we're going to get the trailer. How important is it for this Star Wars trailer to knock it out of the park? How important is it? Look, it's important for every movie that every trailer be good. It's important. There are different levels of importance, though, and there's different degrees of importance. And I want to say this, without any hint or of sarcasm or hyperbole, I say this and I believe this with my whole heart. This upcoming Star Wars Episode 9 trailer doesn't need to be the biggest Star Wars trailer there's ever been. It doesn't need to show the most. There's a lot of things it doesn't have to do, but it has to do this. It has to make an impact. It has to be great. It doesn't have to be 3 minutes long. It doesn't have to be 30 seconds long. It doesn't have to show this. It doesn't have to show that. But what has to happen is this trailer must be great. It must. It has no other option. It has to be great. I would go so far as to say this, guys, and I mean this with my whole heart. I believe this first trailer for Star Wars Episode 9 is, in fact, the most important trailer maybe in the franchise history. Maybe in the franchise history. And here's why. We just talked about how Alita Battle Angel, which is not Star Wars, but Alita Battle Angel, I believe, got hurt by a weak first trailer, and we saw the effects of that. Because that's a good movie, man. That movie deserved better than it got at the box office. More people should have gone out to see that. I think it's a fun movie. But at any rate, it turned a lot of people off with its first trailer. People lost interest, and there was a lot of people they couldn't get back. We know this. Star Wars is coming off a very divisive film in The Last Jedi. Now, I know a lot of you guys like it. You know I like The Last Jedi. I know it got a really good, cinema score. It was the #1 box office movie domestically and worldwide in 2017. No movie was bigger, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. All that's true. But what is also true is that it was quite divisive. There were a lot of people who didn't like The Last Jedi. A number of people who straight up hated The Last Jedi. And yes, there was a percentage of those people who disliked it for their own backward thinking, cousin humping, basement dwelling reasons. But a lot of those people who didn't like it, the vast majority of the people who didn't like it, just didn't like it because that movie didn't work for them. Straight up, as movie fans, the movie did not work for them. And we're in a period of time right now in the Star Wars universe where the fandom has never been this fractured. Now you can say, John, what about the prequels? There wasn't a lot of fracturing. There was pretty much universal acceptance at the time that people didn't like the prequels. That was one thing. But then you also got tons of years. Now you can say, but John, wouldn't pardon me, wouldn't the Force Awakens have been the most important trailer? Because Star Wars was coming back. Not really. Everybody was excited about the Force Awakens coming. Everybody was excited about the Force Awakens. Star Wars coming back. We all knew Harrison Ford was going to be in there again. Everybody was excited about The Force Awakens coming back. Was it still important to have a good first trailer? Absolutely it was, but it wasn't crucial. That first Force Awakens trailer could have been iffy, and it would have been totally fine. This situation we're in right now is kind of unlike any situation we've been in Star Wars history for fandom. We've had a very, very divisive Star Wars movie in The Last Jedi. Then we got a Star Wars movie that nobody wanted and nobody asked for in a solo movie that barely, did it get to 400 million? If it did, it barely got to $400 million. This is a movie that has a lot of conversation. Episode 9 is a movie that has a lot of conversation going on around it, a lot of debate, a lot of discussion, still a little bit of controversy, all that kind of stuff. We've got J.J. Abrams coming back into the helm. That's a positive step, I think. You know, everybody sounds very enthusiastic. That's a positive step. Everybody thinks The Mandalorian looks good. We've got some positive momentum going, all that kind of stuff. But I am telling you right now, I wholeheartedly believe this trailer has to knock our socks off. Let me rephrase. It doesn't have to be the best trailer ever made, but it has to be good. It has to be good. It doesn't have to be the greatest Star Wars trailer of all time. It doesn't have to be the best trailer of the year. It doesn't have to be that. But there is no doubt in my mind that as far as the importance scale of a good trailer, there's going to be no other movie this year in any franchise, and I do not believe in any movie in the Star Wars franchise history has it ever been more important that a trailer be good. Because there are a large contingent of people out there who are just looking for an excuse to bag on Star Wars. You know this. Then you got a large contingent of people who are kind of on the fence right now. It's like, hey, I've been a Star Wars fan my whole life, but I didn't love The Last Jedi. You got to get those people tipped onto the positive side of the fence. There's a large contingent of people out there who do like The Last Jedi, but even those people are kind of watching with a very close eye what's going on with Episode 9. Now, do not get me wrong. I am not sitting here saying Star Wars is in trouble. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. Financially, Star Wars Episode 9 is going to be a success no matter what happens. No matter what. But how successful will it be? Not only financially, but how successful will it be in winning back over the fan base and rejoining the fan base and reunifying the fan base? Now, the trailer won't do all of that, but this first trailer will either put Star Wars Episode 9 with a big step forward towards that goal or a big step backwards in their overall mission of achieving that goal. Because if you lose the audience this early, it's going to be if this first trailer isn't good, pardon me, guys. If this first trailer isn't good, then the next few months leading up to December and Star Wars Episode 9, I told you I had throat problems. These next few months going into Star Wars Episode 9 are going to be a nightmare online. If this first trailer comes out and the trailer itself is divisive, and the trailer itself causes some division, and the trailer itself causes mumbling, and the trailer itself causes problems, then the next 6, 7, 8 months, however long it is till December right now, I don't do math so good in my head, is going to be absolutely intolerable to deal with. It's all going to be half the people online screaming how this movie's going to suck, half the people online screaming it's going to be great. Now look, they could put out the greatest trailer ever, and there will still be some people, understandably so, there will still be some people squawking, this movie's going to suck, this movie's going to suck. Hey, that's true of any movie, absolutely. But a good, solid first trailer will go a long way, I believe, to make being a Star Wars fan online a lot more tolerable for the next few months. Because if this one fails, if this one drops the ball, if this one does what that first trailer for Hellboy did, or what the first trailer for Alita did, or the first trailer for Ghostbusters did, if this drops the ball, not only does it put them a huge step backwards, but it's going to make being a Star Wars fan online almost unendurable for the next number of months before December. And that's why I believe wholeheartedly that this trailer's got to knock it out of the park. Now, I believe we're going to get the trailer on Friday, tomorrow. Who knows? It could drop Saturday, whatever, but I believe it's going to drop tomorrow. I don't know that for a fact. Don't quote me. I have no inside source. I'm just saying I believe I heard it's dropping tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see. But this trailer's got to be good. So let me ask you guys this. Do you believe the way I believe that this trailer has to be solid? Or do you think, John, listen, I hear where you're coming from, Campea, but the movie's still not coming out to December, which is a good point. And you may be saying, John, the movie still doesn't come out to December. Even if the first trailer isn't all that great, they've got a lot of months to make up for it. Valid point. Valid point. But what are you guys thinking about this right now? Am I thinking there's too much? Am I putting too much importance on this first trailer? Do you think it's even more important than I'm making it out to be? I want to hear your thoughts, guys. Jump down to the comment section below and let me know your thoughts. And I'm sure some of you are probably going to want to bring it up in the live chat part as well. And we'll get to that stuff in just a bit.